Hello everyone, my name is Yasser Elite. I'm a Twitch streamer. I stream on twitch.tv/YasserElite and I do Pokemon Go most of the time. And in today's video, I'll be talking about the top teams in the Open Great League. In the Great League, as you guys all know, I split them into good leads, situationally OP, generalist, which are good everywhere. What's a good lead in the Great League meta? Walrein, yeah. I'm pretty sure you saw that lead a million times. Altaria. It's being used much less, but it still exists. Swampert. I am sure you saw this thing like 20 times last time you played Go Battle Day. Diggersby. Not that common, but Diggersby can do whatever it's needed to do, especially when Diggersby gets a good lead. Araquanid. It's a new Pokemon, a new bug Pokemon that is very bulky. We're talking about almost Umbreon level of bulk with an annoying typing bug water, so you just wall Walrein, which is one of the best things about this Pokemon. You know, it's just bully Walrein. Technically you resist everything from the bug, but the bug can still beat it because it had just a good typing. Deoxys defense, I'm sure you saw that thing a million times. Situationally OP, it's like meta stuff, but they are good on alignment. For example, if they swap a fighter or Sableye or an Umbreon, you have an A9, you just farm it all the way down. If they swap Registeel, you just go Medicham and you farm it all the way down, especially if you have shields up. Same for Scrafty, same for Lapras. If they swap a Flyer, you go Lapras, you get lots of energy. If they safe swap a Grass, you go Shadow AWAC. And for the AWAC thing, make sure to use the Shadow. Don't use the non-Shadow. The non-Shadow get outclassed by so many Pokemons, especially Trevenant and Sableye, but the Shadow is much better. And I made a video. Make sure to check my recent videos. I believe it's like 3-4 videos before this one. And I talked about which matchup you specifically flip and why it's better than the non-Shadow. Umbreon. They safe swap Trevenant. You go Umbreon. It's a good game. Drapion. This Pokemon is probably the most annoying Pokemon, or I think it's the most annoying Pokemon. Now moving to the generalists. Shadow Nido. I don't think I need to talk about this Pokemon. Azu, the most common Pokemon since day one of Go Battle League. Registeel, the most annoying. Hulk, what do you call it? The most spammy Pokemon that spam nukes in the entire game. Lickitung, the bulkiest lick user. Trevenant, a superior ghost, a superior grass. It just outclassed all the ghosts and all the grass. G-Fisk, the most OP Pokemon in the history of the game. The Pokemon that has the best offensive type, which is ground, and the best defensive ground type, which is a steel, combined with one of the best charge move that combined with a fast move that generate energy the most, the second most. Mudshot with the best charge move in the entire game, Earthquake, and the best charge move that could cover Earthquake, which is Rock Slide, which is the anti-flyer move. So this Pokemon, I probably would speak days why G-Fisk is the best Pokemon in the entire game in every league where you can use G-Fisk. Or Galarian Stunfisk as the castets from the Pokemon Go play Pokemon tournaments would say. Sableye, my favorite Pokemon. A Pokemon that I would spam anytime I can, whenever I can. So now let's sort those Pokemons based on the usage. A good lead, Walrein. S-tier, one of the best leads in the entire game. Araquanid, a new Pokemon that was introduced and it's very dominant. And Swampert, those three are the most commons. What comes after? I would say Diggersby and Bastiodon. And Venusaur is being used less and less after Walrein became meta and Trevenant exists, because Trevenant just has a superior typing for the grass since it's combined with Ghost. So you dominate the Fighters matchup where it's kind of close with Venusaur, and Meganium lose to the Fighters technically. So that's what made Trevenant the best Ghost in the game. Situationally OP. Probably Scrafty is the most situationally OP because, for example, they swap a Ghost, you just go Scrafty. They swap a Steel, you go Scrafty. Same for Medicham. If Medicham has a good matchup, nothing beats Medicham. A9, probably the second best. Umbreon can be in the top tier. Lapras, not as good. And okay, let me have it this way. I think this is how I would rank those Pokemons. Generalist. What's the best Pokemon? It's probably Registeel now. G-Fisk, Trevenant, and Sableye. Lickitung, Azu, Nidoqueen as the last. Nidoqueen is being used much less, especially after Walrein exists. That's one. And people are using Azu much less, so there is no reason to use Nidoqueen anymore. Lickitung, just get out like Sableye, just does everything better as a ghost Pokemon. I mean, yeah, Lickitung is a normal Pokemon, but you pretty much use it for the lick damage, right? Anti-meta Pokemons, let's see, what do I have? Tropius, it's an anti-meta Pokemon. It used to be very meta until like Ice became very dominant in the game, and you can't use it anymore. Talonflame, probably the Pokemon that hit hardest in the game, with the best charge moves, with the best DPE charge move in the game. Brave Bird. Vigoroth is just a Pokemon that has Body Slam counter. That's enough combination for this Pokemon to be OP. Noctowl and Pelipper, the same. Good safe swaps. They do well. Has some unique typing. Skarmory. Skarmory was top tier Pokemon, but it's being used a lot less because it doesn't beat what it's supposed to beat most of the time. Surfetch, a Pokemon that does well, but it requires you using 3 shields. Same for Frostlass. Frostlass good, but it doesn't beat the XLs reliably, so that's why Frostlass is not being a good meta. Rainy Castform by being the 3rd best water after Swampert and Azu. So in any place where you need to use Castform, Azu does better. Same for Swampert. Vigoroth, Mew. The problem with Mew is that if you need a ghost attacker, then Sableye and Trevenant do better. If you need it for the Psychic, DD or Medi performing better because they have decent, much better charge move. And defense, sorry. They have much better bulk. Obama after the nerf hit Obama like very hard. Same for Pelipper. Because now they don't do enough damage to KO in the 0 and the 1, which making them losing games. Pharaoh just became very bad after Trevenant became very popular in the meta. And Az was not being used that much, which is making Pharaoh to be used much less. Wobbuffet, I'm not going to talk about that Pokemon. This Pokemon because I don't want anyone to use it. Cress, a Pokemon that doesn't care about stab when you throw charge moves, because technically 2 charge moves can KO anything that's a neutral. And you don't care about stab since you are very spammy. Politoed, probably the 4th best water, but the thing is, there are 2 that are very dominant, so why would you use something that doesn't dominate? Coffin, I think the 3rd best Shadow Claw user. It's very decent, especially when people have started using Walrein, which making Trevenant, and it's making Trevenant kind of falling off since it doesn't beat Walrein reliably, and you don't beat Nidoqueen reliably as a ghost. But Coffin can do that since it's much bulkier. Shadow Grumble being the hardest fast move hitter in the entire game. Ariados, a Pokemon that beats everything as long as it's not Steel. But the thing is, there is so many Steel. Lantern used to be good back in the days. So now let's rank them. What's the best Pokemon here? It's probably gonna be Pelipper, Talonflame, Crass, and I would say this guy, Surfetch. After that, maybe Mew. Mew's a good one. Abomasnow just doesn't do enough damage to KO, as I mentioned. Shadow Grumble, of course, it's gonna be a top tier Pokemon as an anti-meta. Because it's not meta enough, but you can for sure grab all the shields that the opponent has, because if you flip the alignment, especially if you have 2 charms, you can give the second charmer a better matchup, and this is what this thing is being good at. Pharaoh, I don't think it's that good. I'm just gonna put it here, the bottom list. Okay, second tier, I would say like those 3 are too good. You can have Politoed here. Yeah, Politoed is nice. Politoed is cute as well. And yeah, that's for the most of the anti-meta Pokemon. Jumpluff, it's not a good one. It's kind of like in between the third tier and the second tier. Because it nukes, it hits hard, but the typing doesn't help it. And by the way, I'm a full-time content creator. I post 6 videos on YouTube, and I do stream full-time I stream 6 days a week on Twitch. Make sure to check my live stream at twitch.tv/YasserElite. And for this season, if you're trying to improve at the game, I do have a Patreon account where I can coach you for like self formats, show 6, pick 3. Also, GBL battles. You do get 2 coaching sessions per month. If you would like to improve at the game, make sure to check my Patreon account down below in the description. And I stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. Central Time. Sunday and Saturday I stream from 2 to 6. Make sure to stop by the stream if you would like any advice. If you have any question about the teams I make, or like if you have any question about an IV you would like to know, I am sure that I can help. So, what are the top teams for the Great League? I believe this is the most content that the chat want me to do, the top teams content, especially for the Great League, because it's the most popular league that everyone plays. And I'm not someone who known for play Spice, because I think Spice doesn't win games. Yeah, you might argue that Spice wins some games, but Spice can give you 3-2 if you'd like it. At the MMR where you're supposed to be, I don't think Spice can guarantee you more than 3-2. If you win with the Spice, that means your opponent is throwing games. That's 1, 2. Maybe you're playing at MMR that's below your skills. Maybe. That's what I would say. That's what I believe, because at high MMR, you don't see Spice for a reason. And meta is dominant at high MMR. Like, the more you go up with your elo, the less variant stuff you will see. Like, probably you will see only 6 Pokemons. That's it. And it's gonna come to skills, it's gonna come to sneaking, denying, and this stuff. So, the best team in the Great League is basically now Registeel, Medicham, Trevenant. Registeel, Medicham, Trevenant. 3 stuff do well versus G-Fisk. 2 stuff can beat the Azu. Everything here does very well versus Steel. Technically, you don't have any hard answer to this team. Probably it's the highest score on any team that you can build on G-Fisk. Oh, sorry, on PvPoke. Make sure to check the website. I'm sure you can find anything you're looking for. The most annoying core breaker for this team, you can say that this team struggles versus Revenant himself or Sableye. Those 2 are kind of a pain for this team. You might be saying that Azu, I believe Azu's not that tough. Like, it's an easy matchup. Yeah, Swampert lead would be annoying, but you have 2 answers for Swampert. Medi collapses Swampert, same for Trap destroys Swampert. But Sableye is the most annoying Pokemon to deal with versus this team. So if you have this team, I think the most annoying matchup is Sableye, and you need to know how to play that matchup. I believe lots of people stay in the Registeel matchup and they try to debuff it, and eventually they go to Trevenant after they debuff it twice. My favorite team, the team I'm known for, I'm sure you saw this team couple times, million times. You can blame me for that. Trevenant with a Stunfisk, with A9, Walrein, or Azu in the back. Those 3 are kind of, you choose the third based on the stuff that you see. As an example, if you see lots of Dark, you can have A9. If you see so many Azus, you can have your Azu. If you see Flyers, you can have Azu, or you can change it to Walrein. If you see many Walreins, you can change it to A9. This team, 1, 2, and one of those 3, is probably the most flexible team in the entire Great League. Why? Because you can literally play this team in any order. You can lead G-Fisk, you can lead Azu, you can lead Trap. You can safe swap also whatever you want. You can safe swap Azu, you can safe swap Trap, you can safe swap G-Fisk. You can have anything in the back. I believe like there was a time when like Obstagoon became popular in the game because everyone was playing Trap G-Fisk, and then I just started leading Azu for the Obstagoons, and then there is no way they could align that Obstagoon versus my G-Fisk or versus my Trap, because it's always going to be aligned versus my Azu. If you would like to know how to play this team, make sure to stop by my stream at twitch.tv/YasserElite or Smash King stream at smash_king08. The most annoying core breaker for this team is Sableye. So we have 2 teams so far that struggle versus Sableye. I told you, there is a reason why Sableye is my favorite Pokemon. Another team that we call it Season 11 version. Smasher referred to me like Yasser and Smash King as well, because we both play the same teams and we both teammates. We play on Elite TMs, factions. If you know what faction is, make sure to check the Self website on factions. So we're going to be playing Araquanid with Sableye, G-Fisk in the back. Why those two? Because I love Sableye, and I believe G-Fisk makes the best pair for this Pokemon, since this Pokemon only cares about Flyets, and G-Fisk just destroys the Flyets. You can have Registeel, I believe. You can have anything that destroys the Flyets. You can have Walrein, but I don't know. I don't like playing Walrein. I'd rather play G-Fisk over playing that stupid Pokemon. Another team that I saw getting popular, I call it I Hate Registeel. Because this team was very popular when Registeel first introduced to the game, because people just hate this Pokemon. And I do understand people hating on Reggie, because Reggie is just very stupid and very broken, and that Pokemon just hits so hard and is very spammy, and it's annoying to deal with. So I don't blame you if you hate Registeel. This team is basically 3 counters to Reggie. 2 of them do well, but says Stunfisk and Azu, and you have 2 answers for the Dark in the back. If the Dark is Umbreon or Mandy, you have 2 answers to... Probably, I don't think there is a hard answer for this team. I believe this team lose whenever you just get destroyed by having when the opponent has 3 counters in the back. And moving into one of the most popular teams in the GBL, Azu Double Ghost. I call it Thor Tactical 2.0. He wasn't the first one to play it, but he's the one who made Azu Double Ghost concept in the game. And it's probably the team I wish I made, but, you know, Thomas is very, very bug player. Probably one of the best in the world. If he... 100% he's in the top 5 best players in the world and best team builders as well. And Azu Double Ghost is by far one of the most dominant teams since the game started. He used to play AWAC, but now, since Trevenant is much more popular than AWAC, it's much, much better. I believe you can replace AWAC with Trevenant. The team struggles, but says Sableye itself. The team struggles if you lose lead and swap. But, you know, if you have XL Sableye doesn't struggle, but says anything that is not a Charmer. So, I believe this team has decent bulk if you have XL Azu. One of the best coverages in the entire game. Shadow Claw is just too dominant of a fast move. Azu, just a very thick Pokemon that doesn't care to use Shield and can always beat anything with Energy Lead. Where is the music? Let me get music back. Okay. Another team. I didn't want to put this in the teams, but I saw it on the Go Battle log as being one of the most used teams right now. Because I don't believe in this team. I don't believe in any team that has Altaria. Altaria is very RPS Pokemon, and I hate to play RPS stuff. Like, this team is like, what if the opponent has G-Fisk or Azu in the lead and Sableye in the back? What are you gonna do? Top left? Like, this team is basically 3 stuff that are very meta, but they don't make good synergy in case the opponent has a specific popular team. Like Azu in the lead. It's a very popular lead. G-Fisk in the lead. If G-Fisk in the lead, that means they have Sableye in the back. If it's Azu in the lead, that means they also have Sableye in the back. And Azu pretty much beat Reggie. It's a close matchup for Reggie. And you can destroy Trevenant in the 0 and the 1. Moving into another team. I complain about meta by Inadequance himself. If you guys don't know this streamer, make sure to check this live stream at Twitch.tv Inadequance. Inadequance complain about the meta, but like the last 2 seasons, he just became a meta slave because he just like get bored of complaining about the same stuff. Like, why people run meta? Until he ended up being a meta slave himself. So this team is basically 3 meta stuff. Walrein Trev is one of the best cores in the entire game. And DD just a solid answer to G-Fisk. It's not a solid answer, but it's a soft answer. And it's a neutral lead that doesn't lose to anything that is not Ghost. You pretty much don't care about the Darks because you're fine. And then, if you win the lead, you can align Trev that says a better matchup. And you have Walrein in the back because Walrein just doesn't care. A team that was popular. By popular, I mean like there was 3 people were running it. It was Pranav and his alts. Yeah, because no one believed in this team. This team is basically the core, Swampert, Trevenant. And this core is a very underrated and one of the strongest cores in the game. It was better, like those two would bear better with G-Fisk, but the problem with G-Fisk is that it loses to Walrein. And Skunk still loses to Walrein, but it's not that bad of a matchup where, like, if it's Nidoqueen, it's actually a very bad matchup. Because you just get outspammed and you take super effective, while Skunk just do neutral damage. And Skunk is a solid answer to Trev meta, and I think he just always tend to aggressively swap to Trevenant, because people tend to safe swap Trevenant whenever they see a dark lead, and opponent is swapping. So as an example, if I see someone leading Poison, and he safe swapped, I will insta-go to my Trevenant, which means their Swampert will be free to go, and that's, I believe, how he ended up being on the leaderboard using this team. So the concept behind this team is using your own Trevenant to bait out the Trevenant, which is something that was very popular. This team might struggle versus G-Fisk lead, but the thing is, you have two answers. Soft answer, Trevenant. Trevenant can beat G-Fisk if you can land the Shadow Ball. You still beat it even if you don't, with slight lead of energy, sneaking denying scenario, and Swampert just destroy. I believe he runs Earthquake on his Swampert. The most PvPoke team that could exist in Great League and Ultra League, Trevenant Double Steel. That's basically the team. This team has the highest score and the highest score on PvPoke. Trevenant Double Steel. I mean, technically it loses to one Scrafty, but Scrafty isn't that bad since you can use one of the steals to get it low, and then Trevenant can win CMP, so it's not that bad. Sableye is probably one of the best answers, but G-Fisk is fine. Registeel doesn't struggle that much. Yeah, still loses, but you can get it very low to the point where you can Shadow Claw down. But this is the most PvPoke team that you can ever build. Another team that was popular by Kim for the battles on Twitch, make sure to check her live stream, twitch.tv/forthebattles. This was a popular team back in Season 2-3, and she popularized it again when people started using G-Fisk lead or Sableye lead. And the best answer to those two, the only answer, by the way, for those two, is Azu. And Sableye just make a good pair with Azu. Skarmory is kind of a good pair to have with Azu, especially if people are using lots of grass. Trevenant don't count as a grass since it's a grass that can beat flyers like Skarmory nowadays, especially if you land the Shadow Ball. A team that is also popular this season, I call it not Season 4 Virgin, right? Because this is Season 4 Virgin. This is not Season 4 Virgin. Why? Because you just replaced like you play Altaria, you know, like Altaria as Registeel, right? So instead of Regi, you put G-Fisk and you get a team right there. So technically those two are kind of weak to grass, and you use Altaria to beat the grass. Another team, I call it the BBML. Can it be more annoying? Three annoying stuff that just destroy shields and force you to use shields whenever you can. And yeah, that's basically the team. The team struggles with Trevenant itself, kind of. And Sableye is a decent code breaker to this team, since Sableye can out-spam Talonflame, but the thing is Talonflame can get it low, so it's not that much of a problem. Double Ghost Season 11 Virgin. You don't use Trevenant anymore because Trevenant loses to Walrein, but you can use Awak, which beats Walrein since it's fire. And fire is just ice, by the way. If you don't know that, if you know about that, make sure to let me in the comment section below so I know what MMR is the majority of my viewers. Another team, I call it Tap Tap. Do I actually need to talk about this team? Do I need to talk about this team? I don't think so. Another Basti team, I call it Zionic Fans. This team was popularized by Zionic early Season 7. I think the first one to play this team was Speediest Chef. And then Zionic made it popular back in early Season 7. It's basically 3 XLs. And this team loses to one Azu if Azu has the correct moves. But the thing is, Azu doesn't run Hydro Pump anymore. So technically, Basti now is a hard answer to Azu since Azu doesn't run Hydro. So you just do super effective from Bubble. And then you hit with Ice Beam, a player up that doesn't even do any damage to this Pokemon. Moving into a team, I call it ABB and Spammy. It's a small B, not a big P, because a big B means both have the same typing, but a small B means that both share the same weaknesses, and this team struggles versus Scrafty and Reggie. You can also say that it struggles versus Umbreon. But yeah, this team is very annoying, very spammy, and very risky to play versus. A team that has always been popular. Triple counter by the greatest Walwar Pogo. You should check his live stream. He always had very interesting, very solid teams. I wanted to talk about one of his teams, which is Lickitung, Medi, Surfetch, but I believe he talked about that team on one of his videos. Make sure to watch that video because that team is very interesting, and the concept behind that team is kind of easy but impossible to implement unless you're Walwar. Another team here I call Screw Basti. This is one of the popular teams right now. The team kind of like weak to electric. By electric, the best electric Pokemon in the game, which is Registeel. But, you know, it's your ABA, and you can still hit with Earthquake, which is super effective, right? And I believe this is the end of the top meta Pokemons, now moving into the spicy teams. And the best spicy team was built by iSpanD. His name is Spandy, but it's more of iSpice D. iSpice D. This is a very spicy team, as he mentioned a million times, because he said he only plays Spice. And when I tuned into his stream, he was playing Medi, Licky, XL, of course, rank 1, Diggersby, XL, of course, and rank 1, of course. What is the Spice in this team? It's his name. It's his name. iSpice D. Okay? Make sure to check his live stream at twitch.tv, iSpanD or iSpice D. Not sure. You can see it in the slide right there. Another spicy team, I call it Iron Spice Scorpion by Aragon's my thing. Probably he runs Ariados on stream, but whenever he play off stream, he plays Swampert Double Ghost. So sometimes he replaces this with Coffin or the Trevenant, but he always leaves the Swampert with Sableye in the back, with Coffin or Trevenant or Drapion as a third. What is the spice in this team? Good luck on that. An off-meta team was popularized by SJ. He's one of my teammates. He's not a streamer, but he always make very interesting teams, and he's one of the best players in the world. Obstagoon in the lead with the Scorpion, aka Drapion, and Trevenant in the back. The concept behind this team is that you bait out the if they have Azu in the lead, you save swap Drapion, and you save this for later. And he was relying on people playing Trevenant, G-Fisk, Walrein, those three, and everyone was playing them. And Obstagoon beats all of those three if you know how to play it correctly. Trevenant is just like a generalist, good meta option, and Drapion just, you know, a good dark that doesn't get walled by anything. It might have some bad matchups, but it can still output some decent damage, especially whenever you get the defense drop. I believe this video is going to be long a bit, but there's so many teams that I need to cover. No skills team, are you watching right there? Are you watching the video? Do you like the skills? We got you. We have some teams that require 0 skills, and you can hit legend. And lots of people proved that they hit legend without even counting. So if you're watching the video and you don't have skills, this is the correct video for you. This is a team that someone hit number 1 on the leaderboard a couple times. A9, Medicham, Bastiodon. What's the concept behind this team? Just tab your screen. Just tab your screen. Don't even throw charge moves, okay? This team struggles versus DD, but DD is not the worst Pokemon versus this team. I believe the worst Pokemon versus this team is G-Fisk in the lead or Nidoqueen in the lead. Those two leads are like kind of impossible to beat unless your opponent just misplay. And once they misplay, I believe that's where they lose the game. I believe he played it this way. And sometimes whenever he feels like he's doing very creative stuff, he just change the order. You know, it's like, oh, I'm playing a new team. The same as Frosty plays his games. Moving into another team, I called Zero Decision Making, popularized by NCK228. He's a streamer. Make sure to check his live stream. I told him many times that his team required zero decision making. What does that mean? As an example, you're Obstagoon, someone is G-Fisk, someone swapped into Trevenant. You have Night Slash and Cross Chop, both are 35 energy fast charge moves. one is resisted, one is super effective. Which one to throw? It's easy. Night Slash. They swap Talonflame. One is resisted, one is super effective. Easy. Just like that. Zero decision making. With Talonflame, someone swapped Registeel. You throw Brave Bird or Flame Charge. Easy. Right? Trevenant, zero decision making. Either Shadow Ball or Seed Bomb. Another zero decision making, I call it I can only count to 5. So if you're watching, if you can only count to 5, this is the team for you. A team that was popularized by a streamer called Frosty ACY or ACY. Frosty ACY. He's a streamer that is only capable of playing this team only in any league. And whenever he doesn't play this team, he literally tanked to 2100 MMR. Whenever he's playing this team, he can literally climb to the page 1 leaderboard. This team required you only counting to 5 and spamming Poison Things. Nothing else. If Frosty is playing this team, he's literally gonna sweep. If he doesn't play this team, he's literally gonna grief, feed, throw all the games, call it whatever you want, paid actor. But yeah, make sure to check his live stream at frosty.tv/FrostyACY. The skills is not an issue in that stream since you don't need the skills to play Licky or Nido. You might be arguing that Scratty needs the skills, of course, because it's my favorite Pokemon, and since I advertise the skills, so I would say that Scratty requires the skills. The team struggles versus Medi, especially if they have Ice Punch. Other than that, I don't call like something bad for this team other than just losing alignment, getting RPS, getting hard counter and delete hard counter in this swap. That's the only way you can lose with this team. Another no skill team, I call it low skill tap tap. With this team, it's just tap tap. Was popularized by CCO for the win, more of like for the tap. The team is basically two Charmants. I'm sure you guys saw this team a million times, and I believe a couple of you actually use this team. It used to be Obstagoon, but now it's being replaced by Diggersby, since Diggersby has a better steel matchup, and it's much bulkier than Obstagoon. And of course, just because it's XL and it's a very bulky Pokemon with Mudshot, it gets destroyed by Flyers like Altaria, but Altaria doesn't exist in the game. 1, 2, you have 2 answers to Altaria in the back, so you don't care. Skarmory matchup is close, and A9 matchup versus Skarmory is not bad, because if you sneak, you can actually win the 2. And that's the end of the video. Believe it or not, we made it after 32 minutes. Special thanks to Go Battlelog for giving me access to their top team's content, PvPoke, for the great website that he has, or he built, he made, and the tools I used. Mish, MX Champ, for helping me in designing those slides. I think she started the streaming, so make sure to check her live stream, twitch.tv/MXChamp. YTX for being a great role model in the Twitch chat, in the Twitch community, and helping me in getting the access to Go Battlelog. So technically, Go Battlelog gets 2 shoutouts. And yeah, that's the end of the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys learned something. If you have any question, make sure to leave in the comment section below, and I will be glad to answer it. This is the end of the video. My name is Yasser Alid, and see you in the next video. Peace.